If you're a Battlefield fan, it's time to buckle up. EA just sold itself for $50 billion. That's right, the same company that fumbled 2042 into the ground, the same company that pushed live service garbage over actual content, the same company that has milked this franchise dry, just got bought out by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. Just when we thought big gaming corporations couldn't bend us over backwards any further, they just grabbed some fresh lube out of Diddy's stash. And if you think for a second this means Battlefield is about to have its big comeback moment, you are dreaming. This isn't some lifeline for the franchise, and this might be the start of a spiral of AI slop and even worse decision making. Remember how Battlefield 5 was more focused on inclusion and diversity over making an actual game? Remember when 2042 launched as a half-baked, buggy, trend-chasing hero shooter? Let's not act like that was a decision that DICE made. That was from the suits upstairs that wanted to chase that Apex Legends and Warzone money. We've always blamed the public shareholders for Battlefield's decline. Shareholders always want infinite growth, so EA just forced DICE to chase trends. We all know Battlefield's core fanbase doesn't give a shit about trends or cosmetics. They just want a fully functioning Battlefield game. But for these suits, that shit is not profitable enough for their bottom line anymore. There's already been unreal cope I've seen online, and some people are saying, oh, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe without shareholders breathing down their necks, DICE can finally think clearly and give Battlefield the respect it deserves. But let's get real. Private equity doesn't swoop in because they love games. They don't swoop in because they just want to save the disenfranchised Battlefield veteran. They swoop in because they see a brand that could be squeezed for cash. And when they don't see returns, that's when the crackhead decision making starts. Layoffs, studio closures, games canceled mid-development. If you thought EA had no soul before, wait until the investors holding the leash have no public image to protect. And that's what terrifies me the most about this, because Battlefield isn't just any franchise. It's one of EA's biggest missed opportunities recently. The investors dropping $55 billion didn't do that because they care about Battlefield 6 feeling like Battlefield 3. They did it because they see the brand value. They see the potential to turn Battlefield into another microtransaction machine. Imagine a Battlefield where every gun skin, every vehicle camo, every emblem is locked behind FOMO bundles and overpriced cosmetics. That's the future we're heading toward. And if Battlefield 6 doesn't hit these absurd financial goals that it probably has, you don't just get delays. You get mass layoffs at DICE. You get Battlefield being shelved. You get the franchise dying, not because of a lack of fans, but because it wasn't profitable enough to satisfy these fucking billionaires. And all of this while Battlefield doesn't even know what it is anymore. EA spent years forcing DICE to chase trends instead of trusting the formula that made this franchise legendary. Battlefield 5 pissed off most of the fan base trying to force diversity trends and pandering to idiots. Don't even get me started on 2042 trying to copy Overwatch and Valorant, chasing every single shooter trend of the past decade. Every time they've gone chasing after someone else's success, Battlefield has lost a little bit more of its own identity. And now with this acquisition, we can probably forget about Battlefield ever finding itself again, even if Battlefield 6 turns out to be a great game. And maybe it starts off strong, giving us everything we want, and then slowly rips the band-aid off until it's not even the same experience a year from now. And I'm willing to bet that they forced the Battle Royale into development to sweeten the buyout deal even more, because it's a perfect vessel for microtransaction sales. It's not about scale or destruction or squad play anymore. That's long gone. It's about profitability. And when profit is the only priority, the soul of the franchise doesn't just get lost. It gets sold to the highest bidder. And this is what makes me so angry, because we know Battlefield can be great. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, those games defined an era. There's so much unique and interesting levels of chaos that no other franchise has been able to replicate. Battlefield 1 was probably the last great Battlefield, and even with all of its quirks, it showed that DICE still had the magic in them when they weren't being suffocated by corporate nonsense. And then somehow you look at what came afterwards, you got Battlefield 5 chasing Call of Duty mechanics, and Battlefield 2042 chasing every single FPS trend of all time. Even if I agree that the Battlefield 6 beta was really fun and things seem to be trending in the right direction, none of this gives me any confidence in the franchise going forward at all. Next thing you know, we're going to be getting the announcement of Battlefield Mobile, because if there's anything the franchise loves, it's a shitty mobile game port. Ugh, so what happens now? Well, best case scenario, they give DICE enough time and space to cook Battlefield 6 into something fans actually want. But let's be real for a second, that's not happening. The far more likely outcome is Battlefield gets milked like Madden. Annual releases, battle passes, overpriced cosmetics, maybe even some fun mobile tie-in trash to maximize monetization. Battlefield is not going to get treated with the care that it deserves. It's going to get treated like an asset, and when assets don't perform, they get liquidated. And that's just the cold, hard truth. So don't let the headlines fool you. This isn't the big redemption arc for Battlefield. This isn't the cavalry coming to save the franchise. This is just EA being EA, but now turbocharged with billions behind them and zero accountability to the public. But let's be real, public shareholders or private equity, it doesn't matter. We get less and they take more. And at the end of the day, the ones who suffer the most are the fans who have stuck with this series since Battlefield 1942. The only question left is how much more can this franchise take before it finally breaks for good? But what do I know? I'm just a doomer who's ranting online about this. So if you have any thoughts about this, if you agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comments section. Remember to like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.